What's the most unfair punishment you received as a child? When I was 12, my mom grounded me for an entire month because she found chocolate chip cookie crumbs on the kitchen counter. Not because I ate cookies without asking, but because she was convinced I was lying about not eating them. The truth was, my little brother Jake had eaten the cookies while I was at soccer practice. He was 7 and scared of getting in trouble, so when mom asked who made the mess, he pointed at me and said I did it before leaving for practice. I came home to my mom standing in the kitchen, arms crossed, staring at the crumbs. "Did you eat cookies before practice?" she asked. I honestly said no because I hadn't. I'd grabbed my cleats and water bottle and left immediately after school. "Then explain these crumbs," she said, pointing at the counter. I looked at them, genuinely confused. "Maybe Jake ate them?" I suggested. She got angry then. "Don't blame your little brother for your mess. I know you're lying because you have chocolate on your teeth." I ran to the bathroom mirror. Sure enough, there was a tiny piece of chocolate stuck between my molars from the brownie I'd eaten at lunch 4 hours earlier. But when I tried to explain that, mom said I was making excuses and digging myself deeper. The punishment was brutal. No TV, no friends, no phone, no soccer practice, just school and homework for 30 days. I had to watch through the window as my friends played outside. I missed 3 soccer games, including the championship match I'd been training for all season. The worst part was Jake watching me get punished and saying nothing. Every day I'd ask him to tell mom the truth, and he'd just shrug and say, "You shouldn't have left crumbs on the counter." Even at 7, he knew exactly what he was doing. 2 weeks into my punishment, mom found Jake standing on a chair, cookie jar in hand, crumbs falling everywhere. He was caught red-handed, chocolate smeared on his face, trying to put the lid back on. When she asked what he was doing, he panicked and said, "I was cleaning up the mess before you saw it." Mom stared at him, then at the mess, and I watched the realization dawn on her face. She called me downstairs and asked Jake directly if he'd eaten cookies the day I got in trouble. He started crying and confessed everything. I expected an apology and my freedom back immediately. Instead, mom said, "Well, you're still grounded because you should have convinced me harder that you were innocent." I couldn't believe it. I was being punished for not defending myself well enough against false accusations. I spent the remaining 2 weeks of my punishment writing in my diary about how unfair the whole situation was. I documented every detail, every conversation, every moment of frustration. It helped me process how betrayed I felt, not just by Jake, but by my mom's refusal to admit she'd made a mistake. Years later, when I was 16, mom found my old diary while cleaning my room. She read the entries about the cookie incident and came to me in tears. "I had no idea how much that punishment affected you," she said. "I was wrong, and I'm sorry I never properly apologized." She explained that she'd been under a lot of stress at work and had overreacted. She also admitted that she'd kept the punishment going because she was too proud to admit she'd made a mistake. "I thought if I backed down, you'd think I was weak," she said. I forgave her, but I never forgot the lesson. Sometimes the people who are supposed to protect you make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes have lasting consequences. It taught me to always listen carefully to my own kids and to apologize when I'm wrong. Now I'm a parent myself, and whenever my kids disagree about who did what, I investigate thoroughly before handing out any punishment. I also make sure to apologize immediately when I get something wrong. Trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. Jake and I laugh about the cookie incident now, but it took years for me to trust him completely again. He eventually admitted that he'd kept quiet because he thought it was funny that I got in trouble for something I didn't do. That month taught me that fairness isn't automatic, even from people who love you.